When do I wash my dreads? What is up, all of you awesome people? It's TheMunchBowl here, and today I am back in school. I've been back in school for like 2 days now, and I don't like it. I'm not even gonna lie, I don't like it. I don't even know. I never really liked school. I don't know why I thought this year was gonna be, different. But yeah, I don't. I started 2 days ago. We go in person for the whole schedule is so weird. I don't even I have some stuff to do today, but there's nothing on there yet. I'm confused. I don't know what to do. I went in person 2 days ago. We went in person yesterday. And today I'm doing the e-learning. We do like a whole schedule flip-flop thing. Yeah, but let me know in the comments, do y'all like when I do like the little cinematic type stuff at the beginning of the videos? Or do y'all like when I just, kind of quickly flip it up like that just to get straight into the video? Obviously I'll still do like cinematic stuff and all that type of stuff. Just like I want to know what y'all like or what y'all want to see, or what type of artistic things do y'all want to see on my channel, because I don't want it to just be bland. I don't want to be an average YouTuber who just, does very mediocre things. I want to make my own content, my own. I want it to be and if y'all don't know, I actually work on music. I actually just got back into that. I'll maybe do a few videos on that. It's like with that, I don't want to just copy what somebody else is doing, copy how somebody else sounds, what type of music they make, that type of stuff, how it sounds. I want to have my own little feel and own little style to it, and that's what I've really been working on, with my channel, as well as having my own style to it. Because if I'm a duplicate version of somebody else, which just goes for y'all as well, if you're a duplicate version of somebody else, it's kind of like you're just wasting space on Earth, Say you have a file on a computer. You don't need two versions of that same file. It doesn't make any sense. It's just wasting space. You might as well delete one. Same with people. You don't need to be a duplicate version of somebody. You're just wasting time. You already have something used for that. That's a big thing I've noticed nowadays, is a lot of people just try to be duplicates of everybody else, which is something I've also struggled with in the past as well. I'll just use myself as an example. What's the point of me doing the same videos as somebody else, doing the same, type of videos, the same style of videos, doing the same camera work, doing the same looking videos, talking the same? What's the point of me doing all that stuff if there's somebody already doing that? I want to bring my own personality, bring my own creativity to the channel and all that type of stuff. I don't want to just be a duplicate version of somebody else, because there's already somebody doing that. I don't need to do that. I have another space to fill. I don't know where I was trying to go with that. I hope I explained that correctly. Let's get right into this video. So, you've had the question, when do I wash my dreads? Now, this honestly depends on a whole bunch of different factors. Quick little backstory about me. I did not wash my dreads for about probably 2 months, or I washed my hair once in between the span of 4 months, I think. Because I used to think, and I learned from other YouTubers, that you're not supposed to wash your hair in the beginning stages, because it's common sense, they will fall out, right? But surprisingly, I'm here to say that right there is wrong. That is incorrect. Your dreads will not, let me put it like this. Will your dreads unravel a little bit? Yes, but let me explain everything first, and I'll get into that a little bit later. Of course, the timing of you washing your hair has to do with a whole bunch of different factors, and I don't have everything figured out, but I'm just going to tell y'all what worked for me and what's working for other people, and what I actually recommend. One of those things being is, what is your hair type? I know I say this in a lot of videos, but what is your hair type? Now, this shouldn't matter too much, but this can be pretty beneficial. With straight hair does not apply to this, because really all the straight hair methods are instant dreadlock methods, so they can just wash your hair right away. And also, for y'all who started out with the instant locking method with the crochet hook, this doesn't apply to you either. So even if you have coarse hair and you got instant dreadlocks, this doesn't even apply to you. You can wash your hair. But for the people who started out and just let their hair naturally lock up, they didn't use really a crochet needle or anything, your hair type plays a big part. Why? Because if you have, say you have a looser curl pattern, you might have to wait just a little bit longer in between washes. Which if you have a tighter curl pattern, that means that your hair will stay together a lot, better. Because the looser your curl pattern is, the more easy it is for your hair to slip away from each other. But the more tight your curl pattern is, the more difficult and the less your hair will slip out of each other, so the less they will unravel. The second variable is, how did you get your dreadlocks? How did you start them? And the third variable is, how long have you had your dreadlocks? And this is arguably the biggest thing, the biggest variable, the biggest factor that plays into when you should wash your hair. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell y'all. So if y'all just started your hair today, right? Or maybe y'all have your hair for a week or maybe 2 weeks, then here's what I recommend to you. Wash your hair at least at your 2-week mark. But no earlier than that. Don't do it any earlier than that. If you haven't even started your dreads yet, make sure that you wash your hair and don't oil your hair. Because what washing your hair does is it dries out your hair, which I know y'all are gonna go crazy. Dry out my hair? Why would I want to do that? You want to dry out your hair, because dry hair locks up the best. If you have oil on your hair, it will slip through each other way easier, and plus it'll just, with oils and stuff built up in the middle of your dreadlock, you don't really want that. You want your hair to just come together as neat as possible. And plus, washing your hair, it kind of enhances your curl pattern, so it gets even more curly than it usually is, which means it has more curls to lock up into. But if you already started your dreads, say this is day 1, don't worry about washing your hair yet. And at 2 weeks, you can consider washing your hair. Now, I know that seems a little quick. I know some of y'all are way past 2 weeks and you're like, yo, my hair is unraveling. What waiting 2 weeks does, in my opinion, is it gives your hair enough time to like get situated and to get to learn to stay in its form. And then once you wash it, it won't come completely out. But obviously you don't want to go ham on your hair and just scrub it really hard. You want to be gentle with it and make sure that the twists stay in as good as possible. Now, will they unravel? I know that's the big question. Will they unravel? Probably. They probably will unravel a little bit, but that's all part of the process. I mean, your dreads can't lock up without unraveling if you think about it. Because if you ever seen people's dreads lock up, their dreads will start out coiled, right? Then they will start to get puffy and all frizzy, and then that frizz will lock up together. Your hair has to unravel a little bit to lock up in the first place. And how do I know this? I have first-hand experience with this just a few months ago. Boom, I started this dreadlock right here because I combed it out and I started it again. And it kept on unraveling, but I just didn't do anything to it, right? Because I'm semi freeforming, so I'm not even twisting my hair. I twisted it once, but then I started going semi freeform, so I'm not even twisting this. And it kept on unraveling, but then boom, you see, over the span of like 4 or 5 months, boom, and all of it just came together and locked up. So yeah, when you wash your hair will probably unravel, but you could always retwist it afterwards. It doesn't matter if you're doing a twisting method, if you're doing anything but freeform, basically. Like if you're doing the sponge method, you can get out of the shower, sponge your hair if it unraveled a little bit. And plus, you're supposed to be sponging every day anyway. So if you're constantly twisting your hair, then the whole unraveling process wouldn't even matter, because your hair is going to constantly be twisted up. And plus, here's a little secret. You know how when you wash your hair, and say you had an afro before, you wash your hair and you sleep on a pillow or something where your hair is damp, and then you wake up and it's all smashed and matted up. When your hair is wet and it dries in a certain form, it stays in that form that it dried up in. So if you want your hair to lock up faster and you're worried about the whole unraveling process, when you get out of the shower after washing your hair, make sure you just sponge your hair or twist it with, do a light retwist. You don't have to twist it hard, don't do that. But if you're doing twist with gel, just twist some of them with your fingers to make sure that they stay maintained. Especially if you're doing twisting with gel, it can be a little bit more of a process because you are wanting to maintain your dreadlocks, so you want to make sure they always look super neat. So yeah, always after you wash your hair, make sure you always like twist your hair up with your fingers. Don't really do it with gel unless you're getting an actual retwist. But lightly twist your hair, to just make sure that it comes back to its natural form after unraveling a little bit. And like I said, what that does is if your hair dries up in the pattern that it's twisted in, because yeah, it unraveled, but if you twist it back up after it's unraveled, then boom, it's going to stay in that coiled up form and it will lock up that way. Because if you don't know, washing your hair actually assists with the locking up process, but you don't want to do it too much, obviously. Now, how often do you want to wash your hair? It kind of goes in stages. In the beginning stages, so like for the first 3 months, I'll recommend that you go from washing your hair every 2 weeks to washing your hair once a week. And then after the 3-month mark, that's usually when your hair starts to really start locking up. You could bump it up to maybe once a week or 2 times a week. And after your hair is fully locked up, or it's locked up enough to the point where it won't unravel as easily, even if you do scrub it really hard, then that's when you could start going up to washing your hair every 3 days, which is my washing schedule. And I'm telling you, it works a lot. It gets your hair really locked up really fast. Like my hair was already locked up in a year, but like it seemed like when I started doing that, it just like boom boosted the locking up process so much. And it gets your hair really tight, because what washing your hair does, like I said, it gets the curls really tight, so it just keeps on tightening up. So don't be afraid to wash your hair, because you need to wash your hair. Plus you don't want to have a whole bunch of stuff in your hair, because yeah, your hair will lock up if you don't wash it. It may take a little longer, but it will lock up if you don't wash it. But the thing about that is you don't want all this junk and buildup to get inside of your dreads and to lock up inside your dreads, because whatever in your dreads, and it isn't anything that, you know, dissolves into water, so like lint or just any other stuff, then it will stay inside of your dread, like it has nowhere else to go. So that's why washing your hair is very important. Now, like I said, depending on, you know, your hair type, maybe if you have a looser curl pattern, maybe you don't want to wash your hair as much. Maybe you want to wash your hair every 2 weeks for an extended period of time, for maybe like 5 months, and then, you know, just gradually go up. But really, it's all based on, you know, what your hair seems to react to. You just gotta make sure you keep on twisting and maintaining your hair, no matter if you're doing sponge rub method, the towel rub method, or twisting with gel, or whatever method you're doing. It won't be like once you twist them after getting out, after they unraveled, it isn't like starting all over. It's still in the locking up process. So don't think of it as if your hair unravels in the shower and you get out, it isn't, and you twist it up, it isn't like starting over. It's just continuing the process, because it's all part of the process. That's how your hair locks up, by you constantly twisting it and washing it. How you know it's starting to lock up is if it's starting to harden up. And all this is what I'm saying is based off of experience. It's not really like scientific. It's not really, I don't know what other YouTubers are saying, but this is what worked for me. So don't believe the misconception that your dreads will just be done for if you wash them. No, they won't. They will actually flourish if you wash them, but you just have to wash them correctly. You have to wash them in the correct time frame. You have to make sure you're not washing them too much. And you gotta make sure that you're twisting after you get out of the shower. Here's the thing, think of it like this. Every time you get out of the shower and twist up your hair, or really anytime you get out of the shower in general after washing your hair, although it seems like your hair is unraveling, it's actually getting stronger because it's locking up. So think of it like that. Every time you wash your hair is getting stronger. It's not getting weaker, it's getting stronger. Anyways, that's really all I have to say for this video. If it helped y'all out, please make sure y'all like it. If you want to see more videos from me in the future, please make sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications so y'all never miss out on another video from me in the future. And with that being said, I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next video.